the small forward. Clark, the rookies are still trying to get their firm footing as a new season begins and a new arena for them opens up. Talk about your journey over the course of your rookie year.
Yeah, I remember it was really exciting to fulfill the dream of being an NBA player. I struggled early in the season, particularly against some of the veteran guys I ran up against, but found my rhythm and really played extremely well for the second segment of the season. But there was a period, Kevin, when I ran into a wall and just had nothing in terms of sharpness or legs. And then all of a sudden, after about a week and a half of that, it just went away. And I hit my stride and finished strong.
Easily outside. And a miss there on the triple.
Boy, I'm absolutely shocked he didn't get that one to go. Usually he's money from deep.
Allen trying to break free. And it's LeVert missing.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Russell passes to Towns. Six to shoot. He kicks it to Beasley. Releases from 15, and the jumper is good.
I guess Towns got a little bit of point guard in him. The big fella with a beautiful dime right there.
Passes it to Durant. And the officials call a traveling violation. Jordan, he's checked in for Jared Allen. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. To the inside, Okogie, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Kicks it out to Dinwiddie. And on the way from Irving for 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. This, of course, their first look at the Nets.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it will be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
And, you know, there's always a bit of a filling out process in that first game between opponents. A lot different than when you've played a team you're familiar with.
And Katie throws it down.
Well, I love the speed that Durant has. I mean, fantastic at slashing into the paint and scoring right at the rim. That length of stride of his and his speed, lethal combination.
Here's Beasley. Great D that time from Jordan.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
KD with the bucket.
Yeah, you look at the way Kevin Durant releases it so high, makes it hard to block, which is why he's such an efficient inside scorer.
Towns kicks to Russell. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And even after the Achilles tear for Durant in the 2019 finals, he got a huge contract after he opted out.
Most teams felt they were willing to pay him while he rehabbed for a year. That was the case as the Nets gave him a 4-year max money deal. His next chapter is underway as he changed his number to 7.
Towns finds Russell. Back to Towns. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Taurean Prince, he's checked in for Karis LeVert. And Joe Harris is subbed in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And then for Minnesota, James Johnson's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Jake Layman comes in for Josh Okogie. And Culver's subbed in for Beasley. Outside Russell, there's the triple. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Pass to KD. And it's it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Durant's got 6 points.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Pass to Towns. Outside, Russell. And it's blocked by Jordan.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Timberwolves leading by 5. To the wing on the left. Layman. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss.
He has to make that one. I mean, you have to make the defense pay when they slough off of you like that.
54 seconds left in the first quarter. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one's on Johnson.
And after spending his first NBA decade with the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan bounced around last season, remains a supreme athlete and rebounder, though, at that center position.
No good on that.
This spot has always been Jordan's biggest drawback. He's never been able to make his free throws at even a modest rate, and teams are never afraid to put him on the line.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Allen's checked in and stolen by Irving. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance. Another miss for him. Now shooting 1 for 4 from the floor. To the paint, Noel. They get a hand on it. Nets trail by 4. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. The Nets shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
DeAndre Jordan.
Free throw good, Jordan. And the Nets making a change here. Chandler's checked in. And a change for the Timberwolves. Towns is checked in. And so Jordan nails both of them. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Inside. And the dunk by Towns.
Tell you what, it should absolutely be illegal for a 7-footer to be able to leave the ground that fast, but Towns has made it legal.
Now, here is Irving. Tight defense on him. And again, it's the Nets missing. 1 second left, and it's good on the way in. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And you have to credit their defense for the job they've been doing against Irving. Kyrie's been almost invisible out there, and we don't say that very often. And we've got more NBA action on. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, so making sure you're not.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
So on the floor for Minnesota, they've got Layman. Towns is out there with Colton, and it's Reed in at the power forward position.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low. And one thing the Wolves have done well over the past few seasons, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, they squeeze it well. Low turnovers can be a double-edged sword, though. If you don't make many mistakes, maybe you're not being aggressive enough.
And it's sent back by Allen. Brooklyn making some changes. Karis LeVert checked in for Jordan. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Irving. And so it's Minnesota with it. Bounds down low, defended by Allen. 5 on the clock, and it's sent back by Allen. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one is on Towns. And the 6'6" point guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Second round pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2014. You know, Greg, they might have wished they held on to him.
One of the most improved players in our league. Last season, he signed that 4-year, $48 billion extension from the Nets, rewarding his growth.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Juan Hernangomez, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Okogie comes in for Jake Layman. And it's Beasley in for Culver. Noel, guarded by Harris. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. There's the pass to Hernangomez. 6 on the shot clock. Noel. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. That's trailed by 6. Levert the pass to Dinwiddie. On the wing, Harris. Off target with his 3 for Minnesota. They've gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Okogie misses.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's Levert. Chandler trying to free himself up, and it's Levert missing. Minnesota leading by 6. Here's Okogie, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
You know, you look at it, the communication is lacking, as is the trust. They can ill afford those types of breakdowns. It won't work. You can't win with those kind of breakdowns.
Levert kicks to Dinwiddie. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
How about the year Spencer Dinwiddie was having last season? He was a candidate for most improved and 6th man of the year, then ended up tearing ligaments in his thumb, which cost him a month. But I still think he had a breakout season and more to come.
And the first one drops. Clark, you were talking about the injuries for Dinwiddie going into the 2014 draft. The torn ACL caused his drafting stock to slip.
I loved him in college, Kevin. At Colorado, I thought he was outstanding, and he actually had been talked about as a lottery pick. He ended up falling to the second round, and he's showing you he was worthy of being a lottery pick back when he was drafted.
Among the bigs, which one do you think runs the floor the best?
Boy, I tell you, Anthony Davis is gazelle-like, and this guy is north of 7 feet tall and is just agile and quick and getting up and down. I think I'd put him at the top of the list. Clint Capella is in that category, and Giannis Antetokounmpo as well, but a lot of times he has the ball and is taking it rack to rack.
He does. Brings it up like a guard, and no one can stop him.
Nobody can stop that guy. He gets coming downhill.
The shot by KD. No good. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their defense has only allowed 4 points in the quarter. Passes to Reed. Shoots over KD. Reed gets the bucket. Reed's got 4 this quarter. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Now here is Harris. Defense right on him. And it's Durant missing. Timberwolves leading by 10. Russell passes to Johnson. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got 3 assists tonight.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Durant, good. Score the basket. Mark him 4 for 8, shooting 50% so far.
And Durant has just such a fluid release. Very efficient shooting the ball from that mid-range.
Here's Russell. And it's sent back by Allen. And he's able to get it back. Harris passes to KD. And KD throws it down.
Set up on a platter that time by Harris. A room service dime right there.
And And so it's Minnesota with it. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. It's off to Charlotte for them after this game as they take on the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Joe Harris was the league leader in three-point percentage last season. He's an absolute laser. And he's really coming to his own with hard work and finding the right fit.
Some changes for Brooklyn. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Jared Allen. Taurean Prince comes in for Caris LeVert. And Irving subbed in for Harris.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they had.
Count them one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut to just 7 on the basket from Irving. And also a three-point shootout trophy for Joe Harris, besting Stephen Curry in his hometown of Charlotte.
You know what? The fans beginning to learn what NBA defenses have known for a while. This guy, Joe Harris, is automatic from beyond the arc, making a name for himself as a solid defender, but a great three-point shooter.
Dinwiddie with the rebound. For Brooklyn, they've gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field, up the floor, and then Durant with the dunk.
Yeah, that's just the height, the length coming into play there. No one's stopping Durant.
It's Russell with the drive. Towns kicks to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Russell. Another shot. That one goes in. Russell's got 7 points.
As the game has gone along, they've gotten more and more aggressive on the backcourt.
Well, it's paid off with a greater rate of second chance hoops. I mean, great effort to build this lead on their part.
KD, that's for 2. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And there's the call. It's on Spencer Dinwiddie. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul coming on the floor for Timberwolves. No error.
6 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Towns, and that's the final possession with the nice defense right there. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Minnesota on top. They're up by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. James, you came out and you were really productive. In fact, the whole bench was productive.
Yeah, of course, you know, that's what the second unit is for. We go hard in practice. We know we can play with the best of them, and we just want to give our first guys the first group a lift.
You certainly did, James. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a fast pace for Minnesota at the outset. They launched into a 6-0 run with an impressive effort on both ends of the floor. They ended up leading by 6 at the end of the first quarter. And into the second quarter, momentum started to shift slightly as they gave up some of that lead, ending the half up 3. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they've been pounding it in the paint. Not just taking the first three-pointer when it came across. That keeps the defense on its toes.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Nets?
Well, if you can't shoot the ball, you might want to stop chucking it up. They keep trying to three, but it's not going down. They're relying too much on the 3-ball. Way too much. It's good when it's falling for you, but when it's not, you have to try something else.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter is set to begin in just...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
Durant plays the 4 with Allen at center. Kyrie Irving is out there with Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's LeVert in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the Nets 5.
You know, for Allen, to me, guys, it's about getting into a rhythm. And once he does, he's got no problem catching and shooting.
Pass to Towns. The pass to Okogie. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Brooklyn trailing.
And we see the league-wide move discouraging mid-range shots. The Nets definitely among that group.
Yeah, and it's borne out here in that last season they took the third fewest mid-range shots and allowed the second most. So the analytics message taking real strong hold in Brooklyn. Yeah, you know what? Dinwiddie is very dependable at serving his teammates on the court. Seems like a natural leader.
Beasley dishes to Towns, and the shot is good. Towns has got it all tied up now for Minnesota.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Allen trying to break free. The shot by KD. No good. Minnesota shooting 47% from the floor. Getting it done. Okogie misses. And so it's KD with it. He brings up the ball for Brooklyn. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. Got to appreciate that stop.
Here's Beasley. Drops in the layup for 2. Beasley's got 6.
And you got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And the last 2 years, Karl Anthony Towns getting a rap as a bad defender. What do you think that's fair to say?
You know what, Kevin? I don't think it's as fair as it once was. He's not nearly the defensive liability he used to be. He's better defensively one-on-one, and I think he's improved in his ability to switch and rotate on smaller players.
Jordan, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Chandler comes in for Kevin Durant. The offensive rebound, the kick out to Irving over Russell. And it's Irving missing.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Scooped up Hernan Gomez. Dinwiddie with some nice D.
Oh, you got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And they double up Russell to the paint. Here's Towns. The shot, no good. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. Here's LeVert. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Dinwiddie passes to Jordan. Shoots over Towns. Can't hit from the elbow. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements. Here's Okogie. Dinwiddie covering. And the basket by Okogie. 8 points for him.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Irving against Russell. Lets it go. Rebound by Okogie. Minnesota in the lead. Pass to Towns. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Towns has got 4 this quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't have it.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Taurean Prince comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Joe Harris is subbed in for LeVert.
Well, I really like this kid in college at Colorado. An effective player is Spencer Dinwiddie. He really does it all. Scores, rebounds, passes, defends. Good all-around player.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
And season 4 for Coach Kenny Atkinson with the Nets. You got to be impressed with the job he's done in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you know, Kenny is a hard worker. He's a bit of a grinder if you were trying to term what category he might fit into. And you see that in his team. And, you know, he admits it. He's getting better just like his players are. And that's a great, great statement because we're all hopefully getting better as we move forward.
Noel, Dinwiddie covering. Layman pass to Johnson. Kicks it to Colbert. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Prince. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And a 4-year player at Baylor, Taurean Prince, something of a surprise lottery pick back in 2016. But, Greg, he's become a very valuable player.
You know, he's one of those two-way power wings that it seems every team wants. A dependable three-point marksman who holds his own defensively.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jared Allen's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And Durant subbed in for Dinwiddie.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force. I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Pass to Culver. Down low. Noel. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And here's Irving. He's got 12. His 3-pointers off the mark.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch. And the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
I love the 3-point shooting of Irving. Excellent at dialing it in from deep. And you've got to respect his range.
And that's it for the 3rd quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the 4th. Nets lead by 5. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
We've reached the 4th quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. On the court for Minnesota, we've got Colbert. Johnson is out there with Layman. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's Reed in at the 5 down low. And it's sent back by Allen.
It's really hard to shoot over Allen, which is probably why you shouldn't try to do it.
Bucket is good. And that's 20 points for Kevin Durant. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Nets?
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Timeout called, the Nets.
And you think about the 2 best talents in Wolves history. KG, obviously, and probably Big Cat.
I would not disagree. I mean, KG is a Hall of Famer. The Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, has been terrific early in his career. The rebounding and scoring, the versatility at that size between those 2 guys. Well, it could have possibly been like the Admiral and Tim Duncan. Well, maybe not quite that good, but really good.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Hernan Gomez comes in for Jake Layman. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Colbert. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard Kenny Atkinson talking with his team. His key message was, don't get comfortable. Those guys are going to come at us with everything they've got. Let's bring the intensity and stay focused on every possession. Kevin, back to you.
Irving can't get it to go. Timberwolves trail by 7. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the 4th quarter. Beasley against Durant. Beasley, the pass to Johnson. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Clock at 4. Russell from long range. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Outside Irving. Pass to KD. And it's sent back by Russell.
Well, I tell you what, his teammates love seeing this. So do I. I mean, when Russell is able to block a shot, that's a big bonus.
Karis LeVert's checked in for the Nets. Earl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Okogie comes in for Johnson. Here's Towns. And Towns throws it down.
Hey, I tell you what, I've got a 39-inch shirt sleeve. Karl Anthony Towns has to be north of 40, and with that reach, you can see why he snatches up those rebounds.
Irving flies in, lays it up off the glass.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
Beasley against LeVert. Beasley kicks to Russell. Looking to get back on track here. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on Jared Allen.
So, free throws for Russell. Something we should be saying often for the next decade or more.
And a 2019 All-Star appearance for D'Angelo Russell, the Nets' first representative in half a decade.
Yeah, and it's been his most efficient season yet. Remember now, he only played a year at The Ohio State University, so a young player, but he's really taken his game up a notch, scoring and playmaking at a high rate. That validation of being an All-Star, terrific for Russell's confidence.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it. Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively and then closed it out with the rebound.
And now the Timberwolves on the break. Rebounded by the Nets. Allen's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Here's LeVert. That's good, and it's KD with the assist. And now it's a 10-point Nets lead.
You got to D up LeVert better than that, Kevin. I mean, he excelled at scoring over the defense.
Minnesota calls timeout. Clark, at the college level, a coach was recently offered a lifetime contract. Think we'll ever see that in the NBA?
Well, you can't quite say never. I said in college basketball, I never thought in my lifetime I'd see a 16 beat a 1 seed. So never say never, but it's not going to happen.
Well, but you've got a lifetime contract doing this, so I guess it does happen in some quadrants.
Well, you got information that I don't have.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Back to Towns. Over Allen. Got that one, and the Nets lead has been cut down to 8 on the bucket from Towns.
We know he can score from outside too, but close to the hoop is where Towns makes his living.
Here's LeVert. Rebound, Minnesota. 2 minutes to go. Here's Okogie. That one doesn't drop. Some solid defense there from Irving. Goes back up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And, you know, when Allen gets this positioning, the defense is in trouble, which in turn forces them to commit the foul.
James Johnson checked in for Juan Hernangomez. And Allen drops them both. Timberwolves trail by 10. 1:41 left in the game. Here's Towns. Great D that time from Durant.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Outside Irving. Allen trying to break free. KD can't get it to go. We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter, and that one is good.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. They're leading by 8. 1:06 left to play in the final quarter. Here's KD to the inside. This ball movement by Brooklyn. Over Johnson. KD's shot is good. KD's got the lead up to 10 now for the Nets.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for Brooklyn.
And they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for KD.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised. I think it's safe to call this one a wrap.
Yeah, I agree with you. Chalk it up. W in the bag.
The drive by Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback diminished.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, we're at an early part of the season, but what did you want to accomplish tonight individually and in the team flow?
We just wanted to come out here and compete, get the win. We wanted to set a standard for ourselves. The most important thing was just coming out here and competing for my teammates, doing whatever possible to get this win.
And you all did that tonight. Thanks, Kyrie. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being with us. See you later.